My husband eats his boogers. Pretty much the title. We were together 4 years before marriage, and have been married for 5. I caught him picking and eating a few weeks ago, and I am so grossed out. I asked him, calmly, what he was doing, and he proudly announced, big smile and all, eating my booger. I was too stunned to make words and the conversation drifted. Later that night I asked if he always ate them, and he said yes, so defensively I chose not to pursue it. I haven't tongue-kissed him in 2 weeks because all I can think about is him munching on his boogers and being so proud about it. But at the same time, I think he knows it's gross because he hid it from me for 9 years and he doesn't do it in public if he's noticed a change in my behavior. He hasn't said or done anything unusual to indicate it. I'm so turned off and grossed out by this behavior. I don't know if I'd believe him if he told me he stopped doing it, because he was so giddy with glee when I asked him what he was doing. I didn't initially want to get divorced, but my respect for him plummeted that day and I don't know what to do. I don't know if I can get it back because I'm not confident he'll ever stop eating them. He was possibly so embarrassed he got caught. Humor was his only self-defense. This entire thread is wild. Never uninstalling this app. This relationship is not gonna work out. My boyfriend does too, but he denies it. He thinks he's slick and tries to do it in the dark, but I always see him. That's kind of gross. Maybe tell him that you find it repulsive. Op, you've been kissing booger lips for 9 years. Imagine the next partner you have. Could their hidden thing be weirder or more gross? Personally, I would just imagine the next partner having an even nastier habit. I'd recommend going to a couples counseling session. 10 years ago on our way to high school ball, my BF current fiancé ate his booger and I will never forget it. I was speechless. Seeing that changes you as a person. You will never be the same. Character development, if you will. My son and I just had this conversation the other day. He's 11, and still eats his boogers. I told him that I did also, when I was a kid, but one time at school someone saw me do it, and that was the last day I ever ate a booger. He seemed unconvinced, and I almost told him that nobody would kiss someone who ate their boogers. They're not really into kissing yet. I'm gonna save that one for the follow-up talk we will have in a few years. Honestly, I feel like he'll never stop unless the kids tease him. Good luck, Op. Edit Grandma. I assume you're sexually active like most couples. Is this really any worse than sucking on his ding-dong? You think that thing is 100 clean all the time? He's never gone down on you and then kissed you after? Also, your hands are 1000x more dirty. You touch everything and it's doubtful that you obsessively wash your hands. People touch their face with dirty hands an average of 16x an hour. Have some perspective. Does it really matter in the long run? If you did that, would you want your husband to divorce you for it? I kinda bet you wouldn't. Who would? What happened to till death do us part? Not trying to be rude, but you need to grow up. Thinking about divorce after 9 years together because you found out he eats his boogers? I understand, it's super gross. What you need to do is talk to him about how you feel. I would be grossed out too, but not considering leaving him, unless there's other things that's making you want to leave. If you love him enough, you will eventually forget about this as time goes by. You kissed him all these years of him eating them. I don't even know where to begin with this thread. Lord Jesus. I'm pretty sure there's a little checkbox next to irreconcilable differences that says booger eater on the divorce petition. Pretty standard. So you know the nose connects to the mouth. You know every person you kiss has boogers in their mouth. Every time you sniff with a cold, boogers in mouth. Every time you cough up goobers from a chest infection in mouth. The boogers are literally not too different to what is already in the mouth. In fact, the mouth is germ-wise far more disgusting. Every time you eat meat you have decaying flesh caught somewhere between a tooth. Seriously, humans are gross. Get over it. Love him in all his gross and move on. If this man can't stop eating boogers to save his marriage, that is insane and hilarious. Talk to him about it. It's a bad habit, you just have to get him to break it. Divorcing someone because they eat their boogers is crazy. Why say those vows if you people don't mean it? SMH. He proudly announced, big smile and all, eating my booger. What the fuck? As someone who had this habit for entirely too long, this response absolutely fucking floors me. You couldn't have gotten me to say that with a gun to my head. This thread is disgusting, hilarious, and pure all at the same time. You're considering divorce over a bogey? Fucking hell, glad to see someone is taking their vows seriously. God help you if you were to run into real trouble. Just ask him if he will stop doing something that makes him unattractive. Did you ask him to stop? It's a really hard habit to quit, unfortunately. Why does he eat boogers? I wish my relationships were this problem-free. I caught my husband feeding his boogers to the dog. I almost vomited. He shoots snot rockets all over my house. I gag every time I see them. This is so much worse. This made me want to divorce him for you. I'm absolutely disgusted. I laughed so hard. In my mind, while Ops post and concerns may be fair or valid, I cannot help internally wonder inside why people that kiss their pets' mouths are not equally scrutinized for being unhygienic. Oof. As gross as this is, technically speaking, the mouth connects to the nose and shares mucus constantly, so you're always eating his boogers when you kiss, lol. It's incredible to me how many people actually do this. Why? I mean, it's gross and I really don't probably want to know. But at the same time, I don't understand, so I do want to know. Also, I would cry if I saw my husband doing this. I wouldn't divorce him, I wouldn't hate him, but it would be harder to kiss him, yes. I've been told by a therapist that this could actually be a sign for OCD. My husband has severe ADHD and he eats his boogers and his eyelashes. I try to give him some slack, but I'm so grossed out. I have OCD and it's something I hyperfocus on and can't stop. My attraction to him has plummeted and I don't know that I'll ever get over it. Everyone in the house knows he eats his boogers, my boys joke about it all the time. They realize this is not normal behavior. He is especially prone to eating his eyelashes while driving, and we are going on a long trip tomorrow and I'm already dreading it. Nope. 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 I'm gagging now, vomiting face. I'm nauseous. Talk to him about it calmly and ask him not to do it anymore. I don't think shaming him will help because he knows it's gross. If he enjoys it, he might continue doing it but be more covert. You kissed him before you knew about it, and kissing is pretty disgusting anyway for sharing fluids and secretions, so what's a bit of booger residue between friends? Sometimes it's better we don't know what the people we love do when they think they aren't being observed. I have a stomachache after reading this. Well, you're completely mental for considering divorce for this, sound like you're both not perfect people. What's wrong with eating boogers? Don't knock him on it until you try, bruh. A grown man eating boogers is so unattractive, that's just nasty. That is disgusting, yuck. So since all the booger eaters are joining forces in these comments, can someone explain the appeal to eating them? I don't wanna hear the immune system BS, I want y'all nasty PPA to explain this nonsense to a T, crying face. Yikes, jumping to divorce and you don't know if you'd believe if he told you he'd stop. It sounds like there's bigger things going on in the relationship. Can't wait to find this on our copy pasta. Your options are: solve the problem, ask him to stop, work together to rebuild the trust, change how you feel, tolerate it with coping skills, or practice radical acceptance, accept what you can't change. This is in reference to DBT problem-solving options. Therapy might be in the future. I'm disturbed.